Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm sharing 10 daily habits that anyone can do to level up their life. You're probably watching this video with the goal of changing your life for the better. With this video, I want to give you some inspiration to overcome what's holding you back. Understanding my sleep patterns has been a crucial learning for me. I'm an early bird, and after experimenting for a while, I found my rhythm of waking up naturally without an alarm, which is typically between 6 and 7 a.m. in the morning. I'm sure you're aware of the groggy feeling you sometimes get after waking up, which even persists with the right amount of sleep. Well, I'm sorry to inform you that often the amount of sleep that you get is actually less important than the sleep cycle that you wake up from. So if you're forcing your body to wake up from a deep sleep cycle, you will without a doubt struggle to get clarity right after waking up, and you may need caffeine to truly wake up your body. So, ditch this. When I initially started my journey, I was in college and I had lots of homework with unpredictable hours for classwork, which led to my first habit of tracking my sleep and learning about my sleep patterns. In the past 3 years especially, I've been using Whoop as a tracker and learn a lot about my body and how my sleep gets affected by certain things that I do, eat, or drink during the day. For example, I learned that sleeping with a humidifier running in the winter months increases my deep sleep by a measurable amount. My brain usually works non-stop. I have so many things I want to explore in life, and for a long time it was tough for me to slow down and organize my thoughts in a way that made sense to me. However, I found a method that works great for me, which is brain dumping my thoughts. Every morning, I get up and let my brain do its thing while I write down everything that comes to my mind without judgment or assessment. And over time, sometimes days, sometimes weeks, I see patterns forming or things that keep coming up, so I spend more time on them. This is, for example, how I started this YouTube channel. I had too many mornings where I woke up with things I genuinely wanted to share with this community, and one day I decided for myself, today is the day, you're gonna create this channel. With all the distractions that happen from my thoughts, I also realized how my phone is distracting me quite a lot. I tried deinstalling certain apps, deleting accounts, etc., but I would always find a different way to use my phone. So what I do instead is I designate one day every month as a no phone day, where I leave my phone turned off for the entire day and spend the day without plans. Often I get up and I realize how much time I suddenly have and how many things I'm missing on a daily basis. On those days I rarely make plans with friends and instead just leave my house and see where the day takes me. Another way to trick my brain on a daily basis is writing down 3 things that I'm grateful for. Studies have shown that gratitude can boost neurotransmitter serotonin and activate the brainstem to produce dopamine, which as a result makes you more happy and balanced in life. You have probably heard this a million times before, but it's really the easiest thing that you can do on a daily basis, and it's a win-win situation. I also try to tidy up my space every day before I go to bed. It doesn't only help me start completely fresh the next day, but it's also a known tactic to reducing anxiety and improve sleep quality. When I know that my space is tidy, my brain has more space to explore things that I actually want in my life, such as what should I film next for this channel, or how do I reach a certain goal. Now, do I love cleaning and tidying up? Definitely not, but the way I do it is super simple. I set my phone timer for exactly 10 minutes and tell myself that for the next 10 minutes, all I do is tidy up. And after those 10 minutes, I stop and I get ready for bed. It's much easier for your brain to know, okay, I'm only cleaning up for 10 minutes at a time. Movement in the morning has been something that really changed not just my body, but also my brain. I was never really curious how different hormones turn into life happiness, but I noticed it firsthand when I started working out on a regular basis. Working out releases endorphins and your body gets used to this really quickly. And now when I don't work out for a couple of days, I don't feel balanced and I know it's a signal for me to move more. The last habit I started implementing and honestly still struggle with is cold showers and breath work. I learned this after reading about Wim Hof, who's also known as the Iceman. Fact is that our mind is often much weaker than our bodies, but there are ways to train your mind to have more endurance and become more resilient. Sometimes I even push myself to go to cryotherapy, which is essentially a cold chamber, to stay in for a couple of minutes. Speaking of dancing, cutting down on alcohol also changed my life for the better. Alcohol is so ingrained in our culture, especially the beer culture that I grew up in, that it can be tough to turn down a glass or two when going out with friends. But the truth is, at this stage of my life, I just value productive and happy mornings more than parties at nightclubs until 4 AM in the morning and laying in bed with a hangover most of the day after. That is really not the type of life I choose to live anymore because I decided I want a more healthy lifestyle. Another big habit I started working on in the past few years was being very aware of my posture. One day I was walking around the city and realized that most people that I saw as super confident had amazing postures and great body language, while I was literally putting my head down, shoulders rounded, and making myself shorter than I was. The moment I started standing up straight and really reminding myself to keep my head up and not down was when people randomly started engaging with me in social settings. I do want to mention that all of those habits are things that I learned and added to my life one after the other, and you should check what works best for you at a given time. However, if you start one by one, your life may slowly change to a more mindful and productive life, if that's what you're going for this year.